Good day, learners. You are welcome to English Classteach. My name is Mr. John. Today we'll be looking at the topic, the levels of linguistic analysis. The levels of linguistic analysis. We are talking about the levels of linguistic analysis. It has to do with the formation of a sentence. That is, how a sentence is being formed. Let's go. Number one, what we should consider is what we call alphabet. Alphabet. Alphabet is what we all know. And what is alphabet? An alphabet is the set of letters used to write a language. A set of letters. And what are these letters? It has to do with A, B, C, T, Z. This is what we call alphabet, as we all know. That is what we be taught in our primary school and what we are so much familiar with. So when we are talking about the linguistic analysis, we should consider number one, the alphabet. So that is to say, before you can form a word, you must use alphabet. That is the analysis that we are talking about here. So when you now make use of the letter A to Z to form a word, and what we form is what we refer to as morpheme, which is number two, morpheme. Morpheme. So the coming together of letters, you form a morpheme. And what is a morpheme? A morpheme is a smallest meaningful unit of a language. Smallest meaningful unit of what? Of a language. That is a morpheme. So morpheme, example I will give you now. Before I give the example, let's look at the types of morpheme. From there, we get what is morpheme. Then we have what we call free morpheme. Free morpheme. Free morpheme. So then we have bound morpheme. These are the two form or type of morpheme we have. So we use the strength, the strength of ABC to form morpheme. We are talking about the free morpheme now. We talk a morpheme that can something like use. A morpheme is a group of letters that can stand on its own without depending or resting on another morpheme. Something like use. Does it have meaning? Yes. Something like teach. You see? Something like nation. So all these kinds of letters, U, S, E, T, E, A, C, H, A, N, T, I, O, N, they are formed from letter A to Z. So when it is used like this, we call them free morpheme. Now, when we come to bound morpheme are morpheme that cannot stand on their own until they rest on another morpheme to have a complete word. So the free morpheme like S. Can you see S? What is the meaning of S? It's just a letter. But this S can be used. When you put S to this place, it becomes what? Uses. Can you see? When you put S to this place, it becomes uses. So we have two morpheme. Morpheme different from syllable. When it is time, in another day, we are going to treat that one. But let's look at this way. We are talking about morpheme. Here, we look at it, the free and the bound one. So here now, we can also have something like ER. What's the meaning of ER? It's just ordinary sound, R. So when you put that ER here, it will become what? Teacher. Become teacher. Can you see? The arrow will go up to join this one will come down. Can you see? Something like AL. What's the meaning? AL. It's just ordinary letters. So when you bring that nation here and you bring AL here, it becomes national. It's not a syllable. Get it? So when you're talking about free morpheme. We also have something like on. Etc. We have many of them under the bound morpheme. So take note once again, we are talking about morpheme. I said morpheme is a smallest meaningful unit of what? Of a language. So we have a free morpheme and bound morpheme. One that can stand on its own and the other one that cannot stand on its own. Then when you now have the ability of forming the morpheme with the alphabet, then you now form what we call number 3, word. You now form what we call word. And what is a word? A word is smallest independent unit of a language that can stand without depending on another word, another either morpheme or letter. Just a word is a complete form of a letter. Get it? That is why I say that it is the smallest independent unit of a language that can stand alone in a speech or writing. And independent of a language that can stand alone in speech or writing. They stand alone. So that's what example we have John, we have school, they stand alone. We have a church, etc. So that is what, by the power of alphabet, we form what we call morpheme. From the morpheme, we form what we called word. Then your word will now form, this is the level, the hierarchy. This is the level, number 4. We form what we call phrase. Phrase. So after alphabet, we have morpheme. After morpheme, we have word. After word, we have phrase. And what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words without a subject or a predicate. It's just a group of words. When you pick different words that you form here, when you pick different words you form here, you bring them together in another. And syntactically, you will have what we call a phrase. So, once again, what's a phrase? A phrase has to do with a group of words without subject, that is the performance of an action, or predicate, that is the verb used in the action, that is the one performing the action and the one receiving the action. There will not be presence of these two concepts in a phrase. So now, phrase, as I said, that they cannot, it's a group of words that has no subject or verb. Then we now have, kinds or examples of phrase. We have noun phrase. We have noun phrase. We have noun phrase. We have noun phrase. We have adjectiva phrase. Then we have prepositional or adverbial phrase. Prepositional or adverbial phrase. Then we have verbal phrase. We also have verbal phrase. So these are the examples of phrase. We have it as noun phrase. The one that is noun phrase headed by a noun. In the subsequent classes, we are going to be taking them one after the other. We will do more exercises on them. Then we have a adjectival phrase headed by adjective. We have prepositional headed by preposition or adverb. So phrase. Then we have verbal phrase. A kinds of noun phrase now. Noun phrase can be the house. The house. The house. That is noun phrase. Then a kinds of adjectival phrase can be very beautiful. Beautiful. The prepositional on the table. On the table. So then on the verbal phrase can be has, been given. These are referred to as a phrase. That is, the coming together of different words to form what we call a phrase without subject. Take note, without subject and what? And predicate. So when you are being able to form phrase with the help of the above mentioned words, then you will now form what we call clause. Clause. What is a clause? A clause, it has to do with, a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. Get it? A clause, a group of words contain a subject, performer of an action, and then the predicate, receiver of the action. Are you going with me? Good. Let's go. A clause, as I said, is just sub-sentence. We are yet to reach that place. Okay. So the clause, I said, a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. Then we now have two types of clause. We have it as independent. Independent. This independent can also be called as may clause. In university level, we refer to it as alpha clause. Alpha clause. Then why the other one is dependent. Dependent, comma, that is, it can be what? If this one is may, this one will be subordinate or better clause. So when we are having it, please, if you want to use it this way, if you made mentions of independent, don't come and use subordinate because they have interchange. So this one is independent, dependent, may, subordinate, alpha, beta. So if any of this is mentioned, just know that they are referring to independent. I guess that. So we are talking about independent clause. Independent clauses are the clauses that can stand on their own and convey meaning. Example, I hate the food. I hate the food. Can you see? I hate the food is a independent clause because it has a subject and predicate. The subject there is I, while the predicate there is hate. So that's why the definition says a clause is a group of words that contain subject and predicate. Are you going with me? So if you look at this sentence or this group of words, it conveys a meaning that is the subject or the performer of the action actually hates the what? The food. Are you going with me? So that is that. Then dependent or subordinate or better clause, they are clauses that cannot stand on their own, despite that they are having subject, sometimes having subject and predicate, but they cannot stand on their own until the rest depend on the main clause. For example, here we have to. So after I return from school, now the subject here is I, while the predicate is return. Can you see that as main clause has subject and predicate, likewise the subordinate clause also has subject and predicate. Are you going with me? But you discover that This statement cannot stand on its own. If you and your friend is just going on the way, and your friend says that without discussing the antecedent of what we have been saying before, and it's just that, after I return from school and stop talking, what will come to your mind? You are expecting him or her to further, because what he or she just said is incomplete statement. After I return from the school, that statement is not complete. Such statements refer to as it means dependent clause. Now, if you comparing it to this one, I hate the food. If at all you don't know the reason behind of eating the food, but if your friend says that, I hate the food, yes, you hate it. Hate, A-T-E, not H-A-T-E. Hate, some of you will call it hate. It's not hate, it's hate. Past tense of heat. So some of you will be confused the way I'm sounding. So the hate, I hate the food here can stand on its own. Now, this subordinate clause cannot rest on this one, as in, I hate the food after I return from school. Can you see that it's balanced now? There is balance between the subordinate and main clause. This is what we call clause. So the power of phrase will help you to form what is clause. Then the clause will now form what we call, which is number 6, we form what is what? Sentence. That is the levels of linguistic analysis. Can you see it? So from alphabet to what? To a morpheme, from morpheme to word, from word to phrase, from phrase to clause, from clause to sentence. What is a sentence? It is what you all know. But in a simple way, or in a simple term, you say a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. When you say something is complete thought, let me take you back to the example given here under the clause. No, I hate the food. You discover that there is no, that statement is not complete. I hate the food. There is a lot of question, positive question. What's happened? Why did you eat the food? What time did you eat the food? A lot of questions, because the statement is yet to be completed. So now, if you look at this one too, after I return from school, it's also not completed. Despite having subject and predicate, then despite this one also having subject and predicate, yet both of them as they are in isolation, they are not expressing a complete thought. Now, if you now join them together, I hate the food after I return from school. Because there is a complete thought. That is complete meaning in that statement. This referred to as the levels of linguistic analysis in English. So I believe my students, you'll be able to, do more exercise. Take your textbook, go through this, and you see them all there. Don't forget what is an alphabet. I said it's a set of, a set of letters used to write a language. That is A, B, C, D to Z. They are just a letter that is used to form or to write a language. Then I also talk about morpheme. Morpheme, I said a morpheme is what? Smallest meaningful unit of a language. Very small. I said morpheme different from syllable. Syllable different from morpheme. Syllable comprises of, vowel sound and consonant sound. Sometimes vowel sound can stand as a syllable. So, but here we are not talking about syllable. I'm referring to morpheme, where we have free morpheme and bound morpheme. The free one that can stand and convey meaning, like the word use and teach, nation, while the bound one are the one that cannot stand on their own on the rest, just like a clause here, like has here and has here, join with use become uses, then and her here, join with teach become teach here, as hail or al here, join with nation and become national. Then likewise, we form with the ability of the strength of the formation of morpheme, we form what we call word. I see it, word. And I said a word is the smallest independent unit of language that can stand alone in a speech or writing. So then the ability or the strength of forming word here will give us what is a phrase. Then I told us that we have, a phrase is a group of words without subject, without a subject and a verb. Then we have noun phrase, adjectival phrase, prepositional phrase, adverbial, either prepositional or adverbial phrase. Then we have verbal phrase, and I give example of a noun phrase, that is the house here, the beautiful, very beautiful adjectival phrase, on the table, prepositional or adverbial phrase. Then we have different kinds of adverb. That is the adverbial, either the time, the manner, the frequency, the conception, and other. Maybe the next class we are going to look at that. Then with the word phrase here, we form what is a clause. The clause also divided into two, just like a morpheme, as we have free morpheme, bound morpheme. We also have independent and dependent clauses. Then the abilities of the clause will lead us to what we call sentence. And I said that a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. Thank you, Manena. This is the end for today class. Then try to follow, share, let your friend know that this English Classteach, you are going to gain a lot in terms of English. Sometime now I'll be taking you and the test of horror and other. Thank you. God bless you. I name myself Mr. John. Thank you. Bye bye.